Hey everybody, welcome back to OctoOwl Plays Solo It Moves with your host, Keeve, for now. We are in the middle of some sort of weird factory. Oh, great. Ew. Gross. No, I don't... Right off the bat. Cool. So far this game's been pretty good. It does a really good job of creating an oppressive, creepy atmosphere during these little puzzle bits, the dreams. I was discussing this with Taco earlier, but the writing for the narrative part seems a little stilted and silly. Great, more noises. But I'm enjoying it. It's not bad, it's just not the best, I guess. Next to the really good parts here, it seems kind of silly. And I found out I could sprint, which I wasn't actually doing in the last part. I was just progressively getting faster, which was weird. Okay, so... Alrighty. Something moved. Is that noise? Oh, Jesus. What does that say? I can't read that very well, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what the hell that says. How are you, maybe? I don't know. It's a little... Okay. So there's stuff banging around. What is that noise? Oh, good. There's something back there. Great. Wonderful. Here again. I feel like the light's getting darker too. Good. What the hell? No. Oh. Oh God, no, the mask is moving, no. Oh. None of this is okay. None of that was okay. Great. Wonderful. Excellent. Let's get the hell out of here. Jesus. Great. Great. I'm glad. Oh, man, but this is what I was talking about. They do really good atmosphere in these parts. The actual dream parts. I'm assuming they're dreams. And he's just not... I already got that one. He's not just being spirited away at night. Okay, well... Not sure where I'm supposed to be going. does a good job illustrating, like, how bizarre dreams get, and how nonsensical they appear, but also how oppressive they can feel. I already get this one? I already got that one, okay. If I wander around for too long, I'll fast forward a bit. Since I know that can get kind of annoying. It's also very hard to find anything. I guess that's part of the game, though. So you're not supposed to know where you're going. Good. Creepy mask is still there. That's wonderful. Like, what's the purpose of these things? One's already gone. There we go. Good, there's a massive... Oh, Jesus. I don't like that at all. Okay. I feel like I already saw this part. Didn't I? Yeah. Oh, God. I have no idea. There's the creepy mask. There's the machine again. Great. Wonderful. Excellent. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. It's funny how certain words can remain hidden from your mind, no matter how blatant or obvious they are. One word came to me that night, lying there in the darkness, alone, frightened, and aware of a rotten change in the atmosphere. The thickening of the air, as if something had displaced it. As I heard the first casual twists of the bedsheets below, the first anxious increase of my heartbeat at the realization that something was once again in the bottom bunk. That word, a word which had been sent into exile, filtered up through my unconscious. My consciousness, seriously. Breaking free of all repression, gasping for air, screaming, etching and carving itself into my mind. Ghost. As this thought came to me, I noticed that my unwelcome visitor has ceased moving. You better get the fuck out of there, kid. The bedsheets lay calm and dormant, and they had been replaced by something far more hideous. A slow, rhythmic, rasping breath heaved and escaped from the thing below. I can imagine its chest rising and falling with each sordid, wheezing, and garbling breath. Sordid isn't really the word you want there, guys. I shuddered and hoped... I'm sorry, I'll stop picking at the the text. It's just, some of it's like, oh, I get what you're going for there, but that's not really the word you wanted. I shuddered and hoped beyond all hope that it would leave without occurrence. The house lay, as it had the previous night, in a thick blanket of darkness, and some of it's really well done, some of it sets the mood well. Silence prevailed, all but for the perverted breath of my as of yet unseen bunkmate. I lay there terrified. I just wanted this thing to go, to leave me alone. What did it want? Then, something unmistakably chilling, transpired. It moved. Just like the name of the game. It moved in a way different from before. When it threw itself around in the bottom bunk, it seemed unrestrained, without purpose, almost animalistic. For that thing lying there in the darkness, that thing which seemed intent on terrorizing a young boy, calmly and nonchalantly sat up. Its labored breathing had become louder. Now only a mattress and a few flimsy wooden slats separated my body from the unearthly breath below. I lay there, my eyes filled with fear. A fear which mere words cannot relate to you or anyone else coursed through my veins. That seems weird too. Sorry. I will stop making fun of the wording. I'm not really even making fun of it. Something that like this happens a lot with creepypasta too, is if something's weirdly worded or it kind of sounds clunky when you say it, it can really break whatever tension that you're building with the rest of the story in horror. So, I don't know. So far this is really good, and I especially like the puzzle bits with the dreams. I want to stress that. But I feel like the text could have gone through a few more revamps, or some of this could be shown instead of read, but I understand that there's some limitations with the RPG Maker. But yeah. Continuing. I imagine that this thing would look like sitting there listening from below my mattress, hoping to catch the slightest hint that I was awake. Imagination then turned into an unnerving reality. It began to touch the wooden slats which my mattress sat on. It seemed to caress them carefully, running what I imagined to be fingers and hands across the surface of the wood. Ugh. Then, with great force, it prodded angrily between two slats into the mattress. Even through the padding, it felt as though someone had viciously stuck their fingers into my side. I let out an almighty cry, and the wheezing, shaking, and moving thing in the bunk below replied in kind by violently vibrating the bunk as it had done the night before. Small flakes of paint powdered onto my blanket from the walls as the frame of the bed scraped along it, backwards and forwards. Once again I was bathed in light, and there stood my mother, loving, caring as she always was, with a comforting hug and calming words which eventually subdued my hysteria. Of course she asked what was wrong, but I could not say, I dared not say. I simply said one word over and over and over again. Nightmare. This pattern of events continued for weeks, if not months. Night after night, I would awaken to the sound of rustling sheets. Each time I would scream so as not to provide this abomination with time to prod and feel for me. And each cry, the bed would shake violently, stopping with the arrival of my mother, who would spend the rest of the night in the bottom bunk, seemingly unaware of the sinister force torturing her son nightly. Along the way, I managed to feign illness a few times and come up with other less than truthful reasons for sleeping in my parents' bed. But more often than not, I would be alone for the first few hours of each night in that place. The room where the light from the outside did not sit right. alone with that thing. With time, you can desensitize to almost anything, no matter how horrific. I had come to realize that, for whatever reason, this thing could not harm me when my mother was present. I am sure the same would have been said for my father, but as loving as he was, waking him from sleep was almost impossible. Waking me, on the other hand, was no trouble at all, thanks to the nightmares. Great. That sounds good. Yes. I am impressed with all the custom, like, tile sets and sprites themselves. Oh, God. Good. Earthquake? Which scene, though? Oh, good. Good. Room full of heads. And jars and other weird stuff. That's great. Ah, what the hell? I don't blame you, kid. Get the hell out of there. Great. 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 Crap. I think I'm stuck. Oh. Oh, God. Great. Jeez. Oh, no. No, 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 no. All of the no's. Oh, Keeve doesn't like creepy dolls, kids. Great. Great. Jesus. Oh, creepy children, baby crying and, No. Why won't you let me leave this endless corridor of hell? Oh, God. Oh, Jesus! Oh, no. Excellent. Oh, God. Jeez. My greatest fears were realized in winter. The days grew short, and the longer nights merely provided this wretch with more opportunities. It was a difficult time for my family. My grandmother, a wonderfully kind and gentle woman, had deteriorated greatly since the death of my grandfather. My mother was trying her best to keep her in the community as long as possible. However, dementia is cruel and degenerative illness, robbing a person of their memories one day at a time. Soon she recognized none of us, and it became clear that she needed to be moved from her house to a nursing home. Before she could be moved, my grandmother had a particularly few difficult nights when my mother decided that she would stay with her. As much as I loved my grandmother and felt nothing but anguish at her illness, to this day I feel guilty that my first thoughts were not of her, but of what my nightly visitor may do should it become aware of my mother's absence. Her presence being the one thing that I was sure was protecting me from the full horror of this thing's reach. I rushed home from school that day and immediately wrenched the bed sheets and mattress from the lower bunk, removing all of the slats and placing an old desk, a chest of drawers, and some chairs which we kept in the cupboard where the bottom bunk used to be. I told my father I was making an office, which he found adorable, but I would be damned if I give that thing a place to sleep for one more night. As darkness approached, I lay there knowing my mother was not in the house. I did not know what to do. My only impulse was to sneak into her jewelry box and take a small family crucifix which I had seen there before. While my family were not very religious, I was at the age I still believed in God and hoped that somehow this would protect me. Although fearful and anxious, while gripping the crucifix under my pillow tightly in one hand, sleep eventually came as I drifted off to dream. I hoped that I would awaken in the morning without incident. Unfortunately, that night was the most terrifying of all. Great. Urban exploring is terrifying. It's interesting, but it's terrifying. Good. Good. We're going to save here. I think I'm going to stop here for now. This is a really long game. It's much longer than I thought it would be. And I kind of already gave my synopsis of how I felt so far towards the middle of this episode, but I'm going to keep on playing it. It's interesting. It's interesting, and it's certainly creeping me out a lot more than some other jump scary stuff that I've played. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.